I mean, I suppose the difference for me in watching, you know, looking at the games from the first films to the games now, are that, you know, on the first ones we did all the same cyber scanning and stuff like that, but you know, they're very much Harry, Ron and Hermione of the books. And I suppose, you know, I talk from a relative place of ignorance here, but I suppose with the advance of graphics and how everything has changed and everything has, you know, advanced in that arena, now you see the games and it is very much me, Rupert and Emma in there. So it's kind of got weirder for me to watch because it's become more and more watching myself get killed or get thrown around the screen. Obviously earlier on the games were sort of revolved more around kind of challenges and activity kind of stuff, whereas now it's, as in the films, a huge amount of fighting and combat. And I think as the audience of Harry Potter has all grown up as well, those probably more relate to the kind of games they're playing themselves. It's not a role that I think anybody that meets me would immediately go, ah, you are perfectly suited to play an action hero, you know. I'm quite diminutive, to say the least, you know. But to be honest, I think that's what makes it quite cool, is that, you know, Harry is not your average action hero by any stretch of the imagination. He's somebody who is put into extraordinary situations and manages to sort of make the best of them. It is fantastic fun playing in a kind of action hero part. It's not something everybody gets to do kind of in the flesh, but now obviously with the game you can reenact all of the insane stuff that me and my stunt doubles have had to do over the years in the game. Well, there are obviously some storylines from the book that we can't fit all of into the film. They have been explored in the game, and so anybody playing the game will be able to explore those things that maybe didn't quite make it into the film. What the Potter games do really well, and what they have done brilliantly as a series of games, is they have tracked the journeys of the film. So the first two games were you know, a little bit frightening and very exciting, but they were, you know, they were really good fun and bright and colourful, and, you know, all that great stuff that we associate particularly with those early Potter movies. You know, as the films have gone on, they have got progressively darker along with the films, and I've just, I suppose, enjoyed seeing that transition and seeing the amount of care that's taken by the people who make the games to ensure that it is a faithful sort of adaptation of the film and of the books. So seeing that kind of journey has been wonderful over the last 10 years. I'd say for sure that my favourite kind of combat spell would be Confundo, because it's one that you shoot. If you shoot it at a group of Death Eaters, it turns them against each other and they sort of do the fighting for you. So it's a lazy man's combat spell.
It's kind of just kind of unrecognisable now when you look at the games. It's just kind of, when you kind of look back at the first kind of games we had, it was kind of, I was just kind of like a ginger kind of collection of pixels, and now it's kind of yeah, it's just incredible the way it kind of is developed and how they've really kind of captured this whole world really. And it really does feel like a world really. You can kind of, yeah, it's just a lot more. You've got a lot more kind of freedom with it, and it's amazing. I play games all the time, and it's weird to think of yourself as kind of character in a game. It's kind of, yeah, I find it more kind of surreal really than actually being in the film. But yeah, I think it's cool. I mean they really are really kind of realistic now. It's a whole kind of different level of kind of realism, and it's great to see it. I don't know, I just think all the kind of the combat stuff, all kind of, cause I hear it's kind of a lot more kind of aggressive really. Because I mean the film is kind of like that. It's kind of turns into a bit of kind of a war zone really, and all kind of fighting kind of for survival, and kind of the Hogwarts gets kind of destroyed, and yeah, it's just gonna be fun to just kind of be really using the wand to its full kind of capabilities. Yeah. Yeah, I think Confringo. I think it's going to be quite an exciting one because it's kind of like a kind of rocket launcher kind of effect, and just to be able to take out like a group of enemies just kind of with one spell is going to be pretty cool. Kind of naturally, they've all kind of grown together really. As kind of the books get darker, the films get darker, and yeah, the games are going to kind of follow that. And I think particularly in this film, I think, because we kind of in the first part we're kind of away from the school, we're kind of on the run, and it's all quite kind of quite a scary kind of time in the kind of wizard world because we're all kind of relying on Harry, and he's not kind of really doing much. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very different film and a very different game as well. So I'm looking forward to that. No, it's quite a weird thought. But yeah, I mean, Ron does have his moments in this one where he kind of does prove himself to be quite useful, and yeah, which is really nice. It's good to kind of see him get yeah, appreciated. Yeah, I like all the kind of real kind of action stuff. I think particularly with the Wii, I think the stuff with the kind of the dueling and you kind of using the remote as a kind of as your wand really. I thought that was just really cool, and yeah, and just all the kind of the spells and kind of learning all those kind of different techniques. It's yeah, it's great. Yeah, we're using the Kinect thing. It's gonna be amazing to kind of really kind of put you in the game because you're kind of using your kind of body really as the controller, and you've got nothing to kind of hold in your hand. So it's gonna be just really kind of transport you into this kind of world. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be cool.